Ocean County Focus. I'm Donna Flynn, your host. Joining me today is Ocean County Clerk Scott Colabella. Scott, your office does a lot of stuff. But there's one area that I don't think people realize how much of an involvement the county clerk's office has, and that's with the local elections, county elections, all sorts of elections. And I was hoping to start our chat today with talking about what is your role when it comes to elections?
Yes. Hey, well, first of all, it's great to be here again, Donna.
Thanks.
And to talk with everybody in Ocean County about our office. Yeah, elections. We share duties with the Ocean County Board of Elections. And to try and simplify the roles, just think of almost everything that happens prior to Election Day. The county clerk is involved in administering, such as the sample ballot you receive in the mail. We design that. The design of the ballot that voters get through the mail, at people that apply for a ballot prior to the election, which several people will always refer to as an absentee ballot, but it's a vote by mail ballot.
Right.
And we also are involved in the petition process, so candidates can get on the ballot. And then on Election Day, the poll workers, the voting machines themselves, everything that goes on at the polling place during Election Day till the polls close, it's all Board of Elections. And even when the actual votes are being tallied by the machines, it's Board of Elections. And municipal clerks are involved in that too. And several weeks after the election, the board and the county clerk then participate in certifying the results.
So you guys have a big hand in it, and that's a great explanation. Let's go back to what you were saying. Let's start with the petition process.
And I left out one thing very important. The board is also responsible for registering voters, not the county clerk.
Alrighty, yes. So we're going to go back to the start of the process, so to speak. I want to run for an office. How do I go about doing that?
And again, there are 3 different levels of government involved in becoming a candidate. If you're running for the state assembly, which is on the ballot this year, you obtain your petition from the State Division of Elections in Trenton, and you file it there. If you're running for county office, sheriff is on the ballot, freeholder this year. You get your petition at the county clerk's office and you file it with the county clerk. If you're running for local office in a primary, you go to your municipal clerk's office. You want to run for mayor of your municipality or council or township committee. You would obtain your petition at the municipal clerk's office and file it there. So 3 different offices and 3 different levels of government for petition filing.
And then do you guys review those petitions? What does a petition need, or what does it call for?
What happens is Title 19 in the state of New Jersey, which governs election law, all 3 entities, the state, the county, and the municipality, follow that for elections. And when petitions are filed in our office, they're given a review. There are a certain number of signatures you have to get. The candidate has to meet certain requirements. Age, registration to be able to be a candidate. You also have to be a registered voter. The petition has to be notarized, and there's a certain date it has to be filed. Another election law is constantly changing, and one of the new things, I think we're going to talk about it, but I'll just let you know as we're on petitions now, is in the day and age where everyone uses email, they're now going to be asking for the first time on a petition, rather than just the candidate's name and address, an email address. Because those are used, we create a list of candidates running for the media, for the public to be aware of, and sometimes they want to be contacted for newspaper interviews or debates, and the way to reach out to people a lot of times today is email. So it's another new addition that's going to be occurring in the election process.
And I think people also, when you hear about elections, I think you think more of that municipal or county or federal. Now you're also involved with school board elections, and I understand that there'll be changes coming to that petition or something that they can add to that.
Yes, it actually began last year, but this will be the 2nd year where school board candidates can now opt to have a slogan three words underneath their name as it appears on the ballot. Partisan candidates, independent candidates have had slogans in the past, and school board candidates did not have that option. They do now.
Right.
In addition, other candidates running for other levels of government could what they would call bracket together and all use the same slogan. In the school board elections prior to this new law, when you would do a ballot drawing, even though candidates may be aligned or bracketed together on a team, using the same concept to go promote themselves to the public, they would be in all different places on the ballot after a draw. Now the new law allows them, when they file the petition, to request to be bracketed under the same slogan. So when you do a draw, you draw by that similar slogan of those candidates, and they'll all appear together as a slate, if you will, now.
Okay. Other changes or other challenges to some degree too. One of the areas that saw changes last year, and I'm sure you're continuing this throughout this year, is the vote by mail ballot.
Yes.
Again, as you had called it before, everybody, a lot of maybe us old timers think of it more as the absentee ballot
Yes.
yet. But what challenges did your office face with changes in law for vote by mail?
Well, last year, as you point out correctly, a new law went into effect that basically said to each county clerk, if you issued a vote-by-mail ballot in the 2016 presidential election, in a November general election of that year, you needed to tap all of those people and send them a vote-by-mail ballot for the 2018 general election. Whether they requested it or not, they didn't need an application. So as you can imagine, in 2014, we issued roughly 12,000 vote-by-mail ballots.
In 2016, right?
No.
I'm sorry.
In 2014, the last
Okay.
midterm election.
Oh, okay.
I was trying
All
to
right,
do
sorry.
similar elections.
Right, okay.
No problem. And 2018 was the next midterm election, and that was last November. We issued 31,000. So nearly 20,000 ballot increase
Right.
because of this new law.
Right. Now, certainly this gives people the opportunity to get out there and vote, which everybody wants to have.
Sure.
But it's also, there's a step people need to take if they don't want this, because if they ignore it, so to speak, then they can't vote at the polls.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about.
Yes, that was the difficulty last year for some voters. We were mandated to notify the voters about this new law, which we did twice prior to the election last year.
Was that by letter or?
It was through a mailer, by letter, a form, which they were told about the new law, and if they did not want to vote this way, they'd prefer to go to the polls. They could opt out.
Right,
That's the key
right.
word. But we needed their signature and in writing before we could take them out. And people are busy. We understand that, and for whatever reason, they may have chosen not to opt out, but also didn't want to vote the paper vote-by-mail ballot,
Right.
and went to the polls on election day and were told they couldn't vote in the voting machine. They'd have to vote provisionally,
Right.
because they were on this new law of getting a vote-by-mail ballot.
Right.
We've continued after last year's election to continue to, if you will, send the message out to voters before this year's cycle of elections. If you would like to opt out and not vote this way, please fill out the form we're giving you. We'll be glad to opt you out. You can go to the polls as you normally would. With this, the application to obtain a vote-by-mail ballot has also changed.
Okay.
Now you basically have two options. If you fill the application out, you can check off a box that say, I want to vote this way for the rest of my life until I tell you differently.
Oh, that's interesting.
And a lot of people do like to do this.
Right.
They go away in the winter on vacation, they work, they just can't get to the polls, and they like to vote this way. And as you say, the goal is to increase participation.
Right.
We're all in favor
Right,
of that.
absolutely.
And that way it will definitely increase participation. It showed as last year's election, the
Sure.
volume of voters that participated. However, if they don't want to do this, I want to send a message out to anyone, contact our office.
Right.
If you lost the mailer, can't find it, and you don't want to vote this way, let us know. If you do want to vote this way, you'll just need to fill out a new application, which we're also sending out to some people who are caught in between. They may have not voted that way in 2016, but they were on the old application, which we can't use anymore, and they want to vote this way, so we issue them a new application. The voter registration form in New Jersey changed last year.
And I'm actually going to stop you
Okay.
right there. We're going to come back and chat
Okay.
about that in the next
Okay.
segment,
Okay.
okay?
Good.
And we're going to take a quick break here on Ocean County Focus.
With a winter storm approaching, it's best to be prepared. Major concerns to consider during a snowstorm include loss of power, broken water pipes, and unsafe road conditions. At any time you're using kerosene heaters to warm your home, please follow all the safety precautions to ensure a safe use. Please keep in mind, if it's too cold for you, it's probably way too cold for your pets. Please keep them indoors and only let them out to relieve themselves. This has been a message from the Office of Emergency Management. For any further information, please visit the county website.
The Ocean County Board of Chosen Freeholders, working to make Ocean County a better place to live and a special place to visit.
Hi, I'm Ocean County Freeholder Jerry Little, and this is your Ocean County. Ocean County, we've got a lot to offer.
And welcome back to Ocean County Focus. Joining me today is Ocean County Clerk Scott Colabella. Scott, when we went to break, we were talking about the vote by mail, ballots and the various challenges that your office has been meeting, when it comes to getting all this information out to the voters in Ocean County. When we ended, you were talking about the importance of people getting in contact with your office should they not want to do this. We had also started to talk a little bit about new voter registration forms. Can you address the new voter registration forms and how that might affect the vote by mail ballot?
Yes. In the new voter registration form that was also enacted last year as part of the new law, you can now opt to apply for a vote by mail ballot as you register to vote on the
Okay.
same form.
Alrighty.
So that's just one other new venue available to the public. I want to say one very brief word on behalf of the Board of Elections and the County Clerk staff. Kudos for implementing all of this under a very tight time constraint. They did a great, fantastic job, and our goal is to just assist voters and make sure everybody that wants to participate that they can.
Right. I'm going to jump off of the election topic a little bit for a while because I know that your office does a great deal of other services to whether it be homeowners or veterans. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the property alert service that you had implemented, I guess maybe about a year or so ago now. How is that running? How has that been working out?
Very successful. We have several thousand people that have opted to sign up for this program. And unfortunately, in this day and age, there are scam artists out there.
Right.
And some of it involves phony documents where they actually will record with our office through the capability of the computer age that we live in, documents that look very realistic, could be a fake deed, fake mortgage, and a homeowner really would have no idea these documents are being filed unless they, before we enacted this new program, came to our office or looked online on their own. And under this new service that we offer, you simply have to go to our website, which is oceancountyclerk.com, and sign up. It's free. You just need your email address and your address of the property. And anytime any document is ever recorded in our office and it reflects the address that you registered with us, and it could be several addresses if you own more than one property, or if you're a senior and you're not on the computer and you don't want to do email, perhaps your son or your daughter or your grandson or your niece or nephew
Right.
who are on it, they can do it on your behalf. And what happens again is we record thousands of documents a
Right,
day,
right.
130,000 a year.
Wow.
And it could also act, it's not only for scammers. Let's say you're refinancing or you just sold a property and you want to see if the documents that were done at closing were recorded correctly in our office, you'd get a notification then.
Oh,
and
okay.
it refers to the document that was recorded.
Right.
So you can have a good self-confidence it worked.
Right.
If unfortunately it is something where a lien, you may find out when you go to purchase a car or something, that's when these things come
Yeah,
up. Do you
yeah.
know you have a lien or credit difficulties? And if you do see that something's happened that you're not aware of, notify your attorney or notify a law
Right.
enforcement official.
Right.
But at least it gives you a heads up. It's like a credit card. When someone has swiped your credit card and you get notified by
Yeah.
the company, are you aware this is happening? So we have people that have come in to look at the documents
Right.
and compliments on having this service available.
Oh,
to
that's
them.
great. Yeah, I mean, it is it's frightening nowadays
Yes.
because scammers are so sophisticated with how they can duplicate things and how they can mimic things.
Yeah.
So to be able to find out that quickly
Yeah.
whether something is registered on your mortgage or
Yes.
your deed or I think that's pretty key in helping and providing a sense of security for the residents here too.
Absolutely.
Some of the other, I know that you're also very involved with the veterans
Yes.
ID cards. Tell me, what's that program?
Well, as you're aware, and I'm sure our freeholder liaison for veterans, Jerry Little, has told you many times, Ocean County has the most veterans in the state of New Jersey. And any veteran that has served in the military and has been honorably discharged has a form called a DD-214.
Okay.
And they can present that to our office and we will record it for them. Again, it's kind of like a safe deposit box. God forbid they ever lose that document. There'll be a copy of it, a certified copy on file at the county clerk's office. And with that, we issue them a complimentary free photo ID card that lists the book and page number that the honorable discharge was recorded, their branch of service, and some entities will give them discounts because it identifies that they are indeed a veteran. Beach discounts, some of the large retailers, Lowe's and such. But its main purpose is to identify also for their next of kin, because to apply for a lot of veteran benefits, you need some concrete evidence that your DD-214 you have one.
Right.
And sometimes it gets misplaced.
Sure.
And so a relative could come to our office, give us the proper identification, we could look it up, give them free of charge a certified copy, which would be acceptable to someone asking proof of that.
Right.
So,
And for this particular, for the ID cards and stuff, is it just at the courthouse office, or is it all of your offices? Because I know you have satellites.
As with a lot of our services, we have full-time staff at the Ocean County Connection at the Ocean County Mall.
Right.
Open 7 days.
So they could do it there.
7
Okay.
days a week,
Right.
very convenient.
Right.
In fact, that's our highest volume of veteran cards issued at the mall. We also do it in the southern part of our county at the Southern Service Center.
Okay.
Yes, available, and we may be entertaining the idea. We've been invited to participate at the Brick Veterans Clinic.
Okay. Oh, wow, that would
To allow that service there for a day. But we're so honored to say thank you to a veteran, for all they do for our country. And it's great the stories that we hear of veterans that come in, talk about their service, and we're delighted to do it.
That's wonderful. And we're actually going to take another break.
Okay.
And we're going to be right back here on Ocean County Focus.
This winter, be prepared. Always keep your vehicles fueled and in good repair with an emergency kit in each one of them. If you must leave the house, bundle up and be sure to keep an eye out for icy walkways. Experts recommend wearing several layers of loose-fitting, lightweight, warm clothing and a pair of sturdy, waterproof boots. Also this winter, be sure to wear a hat and cover your mouth with a scarf to further protect your lungs from the cold. This has been a message from the Office of Emergency Management. For any further information, please visit the county's website.
The Ocean County Board of Chosen Freeholders, working to make Ocean County a better place to live and a special place to visit.
Welcome back to Ocean County Focus. Scott, when we had gone to break, we were actually talking about the ID cards for veterans that the county clerk's office issues and the areas that you do it in. There's another card that you also issue that actually I know that I believe you instituted this last year, and that recognizes Gold Star parents.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that program or how people can actually get those cards?
Yes, we did introduce that last year. The card is in memory of a service member that gave their life to our country. And unfortunately, we have some families in the county that have lost sons or daughters in combat and while serving our country. And the card is merely to honor the service of that person and recognize to the Gold Star mothers and fathers the loss that they experienced.
Sure.
And as hard as it is on them, I think it's they appreciate that their son or daughter, their loved one, some unfortunately even have young families, that we recognize them in their service. And so that service is available also at our office. And again, we're honored to do it.
Great. There are other, again, and we're going to move a little bit away from the veteran services that you provide, and you have people who use your office all the time.
Yeah.
And there are fees that they have to pay, and there's always the paperwork and that sort of thing. Is there anything new you're implementing in the upcoming months to help kind of make that stream kind of a little bit easier for everybody, as a matter of fact?
Absolutely. In the spring, we're going to introduce for a lot of our customers, our banks, our mortgage companies, title companies, law firms, and they have drawdown accounts with our office because they do such a high volume of recording mortgages and deeds and notice of settlements. And we'd have to issue a paper statement every month to reflect their account balances and activity on it. And we are going to give them the opportunity to go online to our website, and they will have a password and a username, just like a lot of people, I'm sure, do online banking,
Right.
Citizens in the county, that they'll be able to go onto the website and see on a daily basis if they want, hourly, if they want activity on their account. And also give them a status update. Has the deed that they sent to our office to be recorded, has it officially been recorded? And that the money in their account balance, where it stands.
Right.
So it's going to automate the process, hopefully make it easier for them than to rely on a once-a-month statement coming in the mail. They'll have it on a daily basis. Help out our office with fewer phone calls coming in about transactions. They'll be able to access this information 24 hours a day,
Right,
7
which
days
has
a
got to
week.
be a big help. I mean,
Yes.
I know that so many of us go for the online banking and that sort of thing, so it's got to be a little bit easier for them too.
Yes,
And
yes.
again, for your staff also.
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
they have to be very busy
Yeah.
with all the things
Sure,
that they do, because
sure.
certainly there's a very long list
Again,
of them.
it's always about the customer, so
Right.
we're always looking for ways to, how can we make it better for them?
Sure.
And so we're excited about that. yeah.
Sure. Now, this year certainly has put you in a little bit of a different position
Yeah.
with a statewide organization. You were sworn in as president of what's known as COANG.
Yes.
And maybe you could explain a little bit about what that is.
Well, every elected sheriff in the 21 counties in New Jersey and surrogate and county clerk are members of an organization called the Constitutional Officers Association of New Jersey. A mouthful.
Right,
COANG.
right. So much easier, COANG.
And that group has a officers, a president, a vice president, secretary, and treasurer, and really honored and humbled that this isn't a partisan organization. It's Democrats and Republicans that selected me to lead the entire state delegation of all these different counties. And it puts Ocean County, gives us a seat at the table when legislation is occurring that may affect our offices in a good way or a bad way, gives us a big say and input into issues. So as I say, I'm honored. It's a privilege to serve in that. It's a one-year term, and it also allows you to see more firsthand what other counties are doing, what they're not doing, and where you stand with that. So
yeah, any sort of networking opportunities have to be beneficial.
Yep. So delight to be a part, and it's a great organization. Great county officials. It's unbelievable the amount of things that they can accomplish and do for our constituents, and we all share that as well.
Now, Scott, you've been county clerk for 9 years now, and your office is very forward-thinking when it comes to technology and that sort of thing. And it's my understanding that there might be a new website in your future. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, we're working with the Ocean County IT department, which is top rate. I think we have one of the best IT departments in the state, and we realize the fact that so many people use our website, and we want to make it even better and more user-friendly and offer more things on it. And tied with that, a few years ago, we started a Facebook page because we know so many people are using Facebook, and any venue we can take advantage of to reach out and communicate with the 600,000 people in Ocean County, we want to do that. And so we're hoping again this spring that we'll have a whole new website that we think the public's going to find a lot more user-friendly to use, and allow us to continue to put on all the forms that are associated with our office. So it's a 24-hour-a-day operation.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you guys, again, you are, just to briefly explain, you are the record keeper, How does that, again, what does that mean, though?
Yeah, well, when you think about it, we've been in operation since 1850.
Yeah, so that's been a while.
You could go into the basement of the Ocean County Courthouse and look at deeds and mortgages that are written in hand. And when you think of, we've come from there to now we electronically receive deeds and mortgages through a computer, no paper involved at all. It's an unbelievable transformation from 1850 to 2019.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Of where we're at.
Right.
But, you say record keepers. We're a neutral site, if you will, the official recorder, because think about it. The residents of Ocean County, or any county for that matter, the most critical purchase in their lifetime is normally property, their home.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is a true neutral party that houses the official record of that property you own. So if there's ever any question about it, you can go to our office and prove, yes, this is the deed, this is the mortgage, this is the legal rights that I have to this property, and we're kind of the custodian of that. And that's a valuable informational tool for our residents, and we try to do our utmost to make sure they're accurate and kept well, and that we record the documents in a timely fashion so it's put on record as soon as possible.
Scott, on that note, we're actually going to say goodbye. And we're going to say thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
And I want to thank you for joining us here on Ocean County Focus.